going on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Addiction, where you find latest album reviews. You can find our band interviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. We'll be posting Strawberry Girls as well as Belly Noir probably tomorrow, probably before you see this. Um, so definitely check those out if you do get the chance to. Both great, awesome bands, so you should check them out. Also, I will be at Camden's Day of Warp Tour, so if you are watching this and you are from New Jersey, come say what's good to your boy. I'm going to be out there probably all day, and I'm really excited to go to Warp Tour yet again. I've been going for a long time, so I'm excited to check out a lot of bands on Warp Tour this year. So if you enjoy what we do, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure to hit that like button as well. Thank you to Lucas Martin. You are the man. His interview will actually be out on Friday this week, so definitely go check that out. Get to know a little bit more about him, and we get to talk about the record that we're talking about right now. So, without further ado, we're going to be talking about Lucas Martin's new record, Alone in Company. So, this band or solo act, Lucas, I feel like bands like Save Us from the Archon, Sean, Intervals, those sorts of bands, even like Math Rocky sort of bands, I feel like you'll enjoy his work. It kind of reminds me of all three of those bands in particular. And he had some really cool features. Patrick, I'm gonna butcher your name, Sumale. I'm pretty sure I said it right. From Reflections, and then Jorge Torres from Deeply Woven. Both awesome bands. If you haven't checked those guys out, you should. But I'm gonna go through each track, give you my thoughts and opinions on them. I'm gonna give some pros and cons, and then I'm gonna give an overall rating for the record. So we're gonna move into the first track, which is Gray and Dark. This one's an intro track. Not really too much to talk about other than that. I like the sort of chorusy guitar effect that was on this intro, as well as I feel like the drums come in really nicely. I know that they were programmed drums, but I still think they sounded pretty solid to me. And I feel like the intro kind of finished out very well, and offers a little bit of ambience, a little bit of storyline to the album, and so it kind of gives you an idea of remotely of how it will sound. I wouldn't say 100%, but it definitely kind of gives you a ballpark idea of how it will go. So we're going to move into track number 2, which is Faded. Definitely liking the sort of separate guitar parts and the vocals. You can hear, not vocals, in the verse. Brain's going crazy. But I definitely like the split. Obviously, there's no vocals in this album, so you have to play kind of like two sides of the coin. You have to play rhythm guitar, but you also have to play lead guitar, but you also have to have melody within that lead part. So I definitely feel like he handled that pretty well. The piano is definitely a nice touch and adds a bit of depth to the track, I would say. I like that, obviously he's adding a lot more instruments to kind of fill the vocal gap, but I feel like he's doing it in a more articulated way. It's not just like super mondo shreddy parts. He's really thought it out. It's very musical, which I appreciate. I like the part around the 3 minute mark with the lead guitar lines. It has just sort of this smoothness to it. I really have enjoyed a lot of the sort of lead parts from Lucas. He's really done an awesome job with that. I definitely feel like the song isn't a complete like shred fest. It definitely has some musicality to it, in my opinion, which is great. Obviously, there are some sort of shreddy parts. I mean, I feel like if you didn't have some shreddy parts, then um, I feel like I guess wasting. I wouldn't even say wasting people's time, but I definitely feel like there's things that you could have added into it that if you did skip out on the sort of shreddy parts, then it wouldn't be as good. So in my opinion, I definitely like that, but too much of a good thing might not be too good. So definitely like that it's more thought out. It's a little bit more just together in that regard. And I definitely feel like this track has definitely a Chan feel to it. He's mentioned it in the interview that Chan has been a huge influence on him. So you can definitely hear that sort of influence in his music in particular, in a lot of these tracks. And I also feel like the acoustic guitar part towards the end just adds this overall depth to the track, which I really enjoy, and also adds like another dimension to it. He did it in one other track, but I definitely like that difference of opinion in that one. And I also like that he added sort of this violin sort of string part. It was really solid in that regard, and I really enjoyed that one. So we're gonna move into track number three, which is Level Up. I like the sort of homage to 8-bit video gaming. It definitely has that sort of, you know, video game S style intro. I definitely feel like this one has this sort of old school Chan feeling. I know I keep mentioning Chan, but you can definitely pick out that sort of influence. It definitely has that sort of first EP, newborn son sort of feel to it, which I think solid. I also feel like the drums that sometimes feel a bit too much. I feel like they kind of crowd the song a little bit too much. Like maybe it's just the double bass that I hear a lot of. It just feels a little bit just too much in my opinion. The solo work is great, especially towards the end of the track. And I definitely feel like the rhythm work holds up its own as well and adds this sort of cool juxtaposition between the lead parts, which I enjoy as well. I feel like again, it's not overbearing, but you can definitely pick out the lead parts where they need to be, and then obviously you have the great sort of sort of lead lines to kind of cover up that part as well too. So we're gonna move into track number four, which is Skipping Stones. This one features Jorge Torres. Another awesome track, probably my favorite track off the record, or one of my favorites off the record. This one again feels very Tron inspired. Maybe a little bit of Saves the Archon in there, or Save Us from the Archon in there. Um, but this definitely has this sort of dirty, gritty, sort of clean guitar tone to it. It has this. I mean, it's not like completely clean, but you can definitely tell there's a little bit of grit on it, which I appreciate. I think it definitely gives this song a bit of character. It gives the guitar parts a bit of character as well. I definitely feel like Jorge did an awesome job on the guest feature on this track, and he does another guest feature a little bit later on. As you can read. But I also enjoy this sort of tapping part around the 2 minutes and 40-second mark. That was really insanely good. And again, it's tastefully shreddy in certain parts. It's not, again, too much, too little. It's just the right amount. And I definitely feel like the layers could be turned up a little bit. Just the overall ambience just felt a little bit low. And I feel like it would have brought the track a little bit more together, and then maybe would have added a little bit more depth that it needed. I feel like there was a little bit of um, just lack of utilizing the space. I feel like there could have been just a little bit more of that sort of backtracking parts that could have just added a little bit more fullness to this track. So we're gonna move into track number five, which is Crystal Clear. This one features Patrick Somale. I don't know, I probably screwed it up, but this one is also one of my favorites. I'm liking the usage of sort of guitar tones in this. Obviously, I'm going to be pointing out a lot of guitar stuff, but I feel like it's essential. I feel like this one has the most structure to it. I just feel like everything flows very well together, and to me, it felt like the best one in terms of just a bit like song structure, melody, heavy like aggressiveness. A little bit of tonality to it. So definitely enjoy that. That first solo was super tasteful. I really enjoyed that. I guess I also enjoy this sort of balance between the open sort of strum guitar chords with that sort of great lead line sprinkled over the track. I feel like that was super solid. I feel like this track also has this sort of ethereal quality that I really enjoy. It almost has this sort of ambience to it, which was really solid. And I also feel like Patrick did a really great job on his solo part as well. So far, the solos have been really solid. So on the end, good jobs, guys. And so that was my thoughts on Crystal Clear. So we're gonna move into track number six, which is Floating. This one also features Jorge Torres. Is also one of my favorites as well. This one has more of a saves us from the archive sort of vibe to it. It's more fast paced. It has more high energy to it. The tapping part around the 21-second mark to the 30-second mark was just absolutely bonkers. It blows my mind every time I go back to this track. It just kind of just goes insane. I would say that this one is pretty up there in terms of the technical songs. I would say that this one is probably the most technical song off the record. It has great groove to it, and it has this sort of happy, sort of fun vibe to it, which I really appreciate. And I like how it kind of mellows out towards the bridge, and it kind of changes the pace of the track in like this cool sort of way. So, and I also like this sort of cool acoustic guitar ending as well. I feel like he's been really solid with those. So, props on you, Lucas. I really enjoy that one. So, we're gonna move into the last track, Alone in Company, the title track. This one is one of my favorites as well. I'm really liking this sort of delayed lead guitar opening part, and it kind of goes throughout the entire track, which is really cool. I feel like this track is kind of like a mashup between Sean and Saves the Archon. If they had a baby, this is what it would sound like, in my opinion. Keeping with the sort of high energy of the tracks, which is really solid. The chorus sounds huge, and I also feel like the solo from Lucas was awesome as well. The minute and 55-second marks to the 2 minutes and 20-second mark is just taking you to a one-way ticket to Shred City. Super solid. Really enjoy that. The solo at the minute and 2 minute and 35-second mark definitely has that sort of interval esque feeling to it. And I definitely like at the 5 minutes and 25-second mark, pretty much at the outro of the song. I like how it translates into the piano and just like electronic drums. I feel like that was super solid, and I think it was an excellent way to end the record. So I'm gonna get into some pros and cons. I definitely feel like, to me, it was very reminiscent of bands that I've been really jamming as of recently. Bands like Saves the Archon, Chon, uh, even a little bit of Fall Troy in there, here and there. Maybe not too much, but definitely has that sort of math rock feel to it. And just overall, has been really solid. I think for just a solo record from him, I think it's been really awesome. Just kind of listen through and give my thoughts on it. But I definitely feel like there is room for improvement. There is a little bit of rough patches here and there. Then I kind of pointed out some of the drums were a little bit odd to me, in my opinion. And just I feel like there needs to be like an overall sort of polish to the tracks that, to me, just was lacking. So to me, it's really solid, but I'm really excited to see the next work when it's a little bit more thought out. It's a little bit more just polished and just together. I feel like it was together enough, but I definitely am excited to see the progression, and hopefully he'll take my thoughts into account. But to me, it sounded awesome, and I like the musicality of it, but I definitely feel like it could be a little bit better. Obviously, money's tight, so I can't expect too much from him, but I totally understand the sentiment of not having enough money, but definitely excited to see the future of Lucas and what he does with his solo work. It sounded really great, and I think it's a great sort of first album for him that I'm excited to see the future of. So my overall rating for Lucas Martin's Alone in Company, I'm going to be giving it a 9 out of 10. I think it's really solid. I think you guys should check it out. You can actually download it on his Bandcamp for free, so definitely go check it out if you get the chance to. Again, for fans of Chon, Saves the Archon, a little bit intervals here and there, maybe a little bit of Fallen Troy here and there as well. But it's really been solid. I'm really proud of you, man. Sounds great. So definitely go check out Lucas's stuff. Go check out his interview on Friday if you get the chance as well. It was a great time. Really enjoyed that time with him. So definitely go check out his stuff. So links are in the description where you can find out all about him and all that stuff. Links for our merch store is also in the description as well. And if you enjoyed our review, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also make sure that like button as well. It really does mean a lot, and thank you guys for your support. So my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.